Alright, so this is a story about a racer goes over the bars, breaks his brake lever, and somehow somebody comes up with this MacGyver fix that just saves the day, and you get to finish the day out riding. Alright, so this is a story of how a stick became a brake lever. Let's ride into it. Alright, so we've got the second half of a great story about how two couples came together after a nasty storm in the Ouachita Mountains for a crazy enduro race. And we heard Kurt's story. Let's hear Betty's. I was born with coffee. 23 years. I lived at Rita's Diner, third shelf down, right next to the window, where I could watch Route 12. I wasn't fancy. Just a solid cream porcelain with green letters that said who I belonged to. I had a broad base and a handle built for the working hands of the people that came in. And I held coffee for truckers and farmers and waitresses who had been on their feet since dawn. She filled me to the brim when someone needed kindness and never let me go empty for the regulars. I listened to proposals made over meatloaf, breakups softened by free refills, gossiped passed like sugar packets. I caught the nervous laughter of teenagers, thought a 50-cent tip was generous. Rita ran that diner since 1962. Yeah, she only played songs on the jukebox from 1957. That's when she met her husband. And boy, Rita had opinions about everything. It made coffee strong enough to wake the dead. The crack, though, came on a November night, 3 in the morning. Wanted to pay for eggs with a lottery ticket. Rita herself was like, no. He tried to argue, and she just slammed me down on the counter, hard enough to make her point. The crack spread around my rim to my logo, thin like a river on a map. Rita held me up to the lay afterwards. Yeah, and she set me back on the shelf. You're tougher than you look, Betty, she said. Never heard her call me that before. Yeah, I became it in that moment. I thought the diner was my forever. Rita sold it when she turned 83. Her daughter wanted her to retire, to move to Florida. Most of the mugs went to garage sales or got thrown away. I got luckier. A bike mechanic named Sam. She found me at a flea market for just $2. She held me up and said, "You'll do." That's how I ended up in the Ouachita Mountains the morning after a crazy storm. Someone said tornadoes. Wouldn't surprise me being in Oklahoma. The ground was soaked everywhere. I mean, people were standing in 2 inches of water. People in numbered jerseys crawling out of their wet tents, pretending this mountain bike race was going to be fun. Yep, Sam. She set me in the mechanic tent among tools and spare parts. I sat there filled with black coffee, finding my place in the strange new world. Across the mud, blue coffee cup, chip shaped like Oklahoma, leaning on a folding table, like he had seen it all. Cold, he called over to me. I took my time answering, and that's when I saw him. Not for long. My human, she pours heavy. Name's Kurt. I'm a dashboard philosopher, told me. I just responded, I'm Betty. I'm a window seat veteran. And I never spill secrets. I will have to say something sparked between us. He was enamel, rough, adventurous, a road warrior. And I was porcelain. I was solid, steady, built to stay in one place. But on that storm morning, we noticed each other. And as the race exploded around us, bikes launched, cowbells rang, humans screamed encouragement, and riders came through in waves. The fast ones, the determined middle pack. The back, markers who were just there for the story. Between the chaos, Kurt and I talked, traded observations about riders, about the spectators, about the beautiful foolishness of it all. He asked me about my crack. I told him about Rita, and how she handed it to that trucker. He told me about Route 66, a pop and a toolbox, and a pothole. We compared our scars like veterans who understood survival. I wasn't used to banter. At the diner, people talked to me. Not with me, but with Kurt, it was a conversation. It was equal. It was easy. As evening settled, Sam set me on a truck tailgate. After rinsing me out, Kurt landed right beside me. Our rims touched. Porcelain against enamel, my cream against his blue. In that moment, with the mountains breathing around us and humans celebrating their mud-covered accomplishment, I felt something I hadn't felt since the diner closed. Belonging. This was good, I said. The best, Kurt answered. See you next year? If my human brings me back. Next year then, Kurt. Later, I'm packed in Sam's van among tools and bike parts. I thought about the diner. About mornings that never changed. About being needed, but never really known. I thought about Kurt. Weathered, chipped, full of roads and stories I've never seen. I thought about how strange it was to find connection in a muddy parking lot between two mugs who had no business caring about each other, but we did anyway. As all mugs, we remember, we hold more than coffee. We hold the warmth of hands, the weight of confessions, the comfort of routine. We hold the cracks that tell our stories. I'm Betty, the solid diner porcelain, cracked but steady, now living a second life among bike parts and race day chaos. Yeah, I met Kurt after that storm in the mountains. It smelled like iron and pine. And that meeting was better than any breakfast special I had ever served. Forever, it turns out, there's more chapters than you think. Sometimes they start with a blue-rimmed mug asking if you're cold. All right, so that was Betty's interpretation of how they met. Kind of fun. Again, there is an extended version of this, audio only. You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. Appreciate it. Again, subscribe, comment, tell me how bad it is, tell me how awful it is, tell me how stupid it is. Whatever. We have somebody else read them. Yeah. I only hear the good ones. They sift through it for me. It's like that great South Park episode. Who was it? Butters had to take Cartman's only positive. I'm going to have to watch that. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks for listening to another coffee cup story or watching it. And thank you.